In-depth coverage of the top stories and breaking news when it happens. News Radio 1080 KRLD.
The president introduces appeals court judge Ketanji Brown Jackson as the first black woman nominee to the Supreme Court. In selecting her, he delivered on a campaign promise that he would nominate a black woman. In fact, he made that promise 2 years ago today. So what's next? We're joined by Dallas attorney Rob Crain. Rob, I know Jackson's well thought of, but there are still promises. This could be a confirmation fight.
It should be a president picking somebody of high intellect, high character, that has a history of either, if they're a former judge or justice, ruling down the middle. And it shouldn't be one of ideology. Except for some rare circumstances in our country's history, generally speaking, the president's choice was accepted by the Senate and was confirmed. Then we got into the 1980s with Judge Robert Bork. And that really changed everything when his confirmation battle became so polarizing. He was postured by Democrats as being too far right-wing for the court and taking a position at that point in time which really polarized the politics of it. And we've seen gradually since then a more and more political process to the point where Merrick Garland was 293 days awaiting a confirmation hearing and never got one. Amy Coney Barrett awaited only 30 days. And you had Brett Kavanaugh being grilled as well in ways that Republicans thought was unfair. Democrats think that the treatment of Merrick Garland was unfair. And it's now really started from that 1980s on to where we are now. And we really, as a country, need to, as a people, tell our elected officials that's not how we want things done.
How does that hurt the Supreme Court when the confirmation process is just so divisive?
I think these rulings that we've been seeing now for a period of time are on very socially conscious issues, a 5-4 division. And except for Justice David Souter, you had essentially appointees of the Democrats voting one way and appointees of the Republicans voting another. And instead, people in this country who aren't all yeses under the Democrats and all yeses under the Republicans' talking points or issues. They want people who see things from all perspectives and can navigate those controversial issues that it's not uniform, because that's who we really are as a people. Our politics has gotten so polarized, but our people are still a large silent majority really wants people who are just thinking it through and doing the best they can.
We know that Jackson worked under Stephen Breyer. Do we expect her to pretty much be in lockstep with where he is, or where might we see her be a bit different?
Well, let's applaud Justice Breyer for his career. I mean, he's been known as a pragmatist on the court, and even though he has his personal ideology, he's been one to reach across the divide in the court and bring people together, and he's kind of the adult in the room. So I hope that she gleans a lot of how he conducted himself as a justice, because he did a wonderful job for the American people. As far as how she will vote, she's only been on the Court of Appeals in D.C. for a year now. She's had a notable decision or two. She was a trial court judge for quite some time. She's written over 300 opinions, so it's not as if she doesn't have opinions, but trial court opinions are different than the appellate court of opinions. So as one of the major publications in America said, she's still a bit of an open book, but you can look back and see her rulings. She's been pro-labor in her opinions. She's got notable opinions that went adverse to the Trump administration, which you will hear a lot about in the confirmation process. But just looking generally at her rulings, she's down the middle, as are most every justice. When you get to those socially conscious, politically driven issues, she leans left, and so you will see that fight from Republicans against her left-leaning ideology.
That's Rob Crain. He is an attorney in Dallas.